For all things outdoors, listen to the father of two, the Jesus-loving, TV show hosting, hairy, true-blood American redneck, Ben Cole.
And listen to the outdoor filming, chef cooking, chocolate milk drinking, John Weissmuller. We are
Rooted Podcast. All right, Ben. Hunting's hard. It's not a secret. But there are times when maybe we get too caught up in wanting the hunt to be perfect and everything to go well that we lose sight in what's really important in the hunt. And to me, that's enjoying God's creation. That's being thankful for another day, being thankful for all the gifts that we have been given, and just taking a step back and, taking a deep breath and just enjoying the moment. Especially this time of year when things are kind of not going our way right this second. But I just wanted to get your thoughts on that. Like, what do you do to kind of stay rooted in all of this whenever a hunt isn't going your way exactly?
Well, I constantly think to myself, you are guaranteed 0% success if you're on the couch. You're not going to kill them anywhere else but, right here. If you've got them and they may not be showing up on camera, but you are guaranteed zero success if you're not in the woods. So that is really what I have been solely relying on, because man, I've noticed here lately that a lot of these bigger bucks will go around your cameras. Though they're not just, I don't know. I mean, they're just deer. I don't know if they like, oh man, look, it's a camera, I can feel it, or whatever, or they're just not walking that way for whatever reason, and they're walking 50 yards to 100 yards behind it. I don't know what the answer to that is, but I do know that you hit a nail on the head when you said it's about being in God's creation. That is what it is about for me. And man, I tell you, I feel closest to God when I am up in a tree in a duck blind. Just being in His creation is man, it's awesome. It really shows you how big our Creator really is.
I totally agree. I mean, it's just wild that we're kind of in this world, with all the social media platforms. Like, you're sitting there and you're scrolling, and it's like, man, it looks like everybody's shooting this and that and the other, and you're like, woe is me. How come I haven't gotten anything? And I think that you can get caught in that trap easy, man, and then you just lose sight of what it's all about and just being outside and enjoying it.
Yeah, man, and that actually brings up a good question. So for you, do we get caught up in shooting the biggest deer, or the gobbling, shredding turkey, or the best fishing spot, or like the coolest duck, or whatever? Is that something that we should really care about all that much, or is it something that we should just not worry about and just enjoy the fellowship, enjoy whatever deer is presented to you, and eat it? So what's your take on that?
Yeah, I get real torn because it's like, obviously, like anybody, human nature takes over, and it's like, man, I really want to shoot the biggest duck or catch the biggest fish, or have the prettiest mallard come in on me and just finish right there. Like, I want all those things, but I also realize that it's very important to just be thankful and grateful, and just really understand that it's a wild position that we're in, that we get to just be outside and have the ability, number one, to just hunt, to walk and see and all those things. So I definitely think we all get caught up in, trying to get the biggest and baddest critter, and it can really hurt your hunting experience, man. I I think.
Well, I think you're onto something there. But I also think that, like we talked in the last episode, not every deer is genetically inclined to be a giant whitetail. So, with that being said, what are you looking for? What kind of deer are you really focused on? Is it the age, or is it the score of the antlers? Or is it dinner on your table? Who cares about the antlers? You can't eat them. They're bone. You can't eat bone. I mean, I guess you could, but it wouldn't be very good. So,
Yeah, you probably shouldn't.
so my question to you is, you know, is that what you're caught up in? For me, no. I think that if it makes me reach for my rifle or bow or whatever I'm hunting with at the time immediately, that is a killer deer. That's the one you shoot. If you immediately grab for your weapon, that is the deer you should shoot, because it has captivated you and motivated you enough to be like, yep, that's the one. You shouldn't even second guess it, and that's the way I feel about it is, you know, um, I mean, dude, you've seen it. You've seen the deer we killed in Oklahoma that
Hmm.
was a 6-year-old deer, 125-inch deer, man. But he was still an old deer, and it made
Yeah.
me happy. It made you happy. That's what it was all about. It made
Hmm.
us. I mean, we were both pumped about it. So, that's the thing is, what are you hunting for? What is the reason that you're in the woods? Which is the question that I ask. And man, I think a lot of people get too wrapped up in the whole. I don't even know what to call it, but everybody's getting so wrapped up in, man, I killed the biggest whitetail. I have to kill a 230-inch deer because I want to be the guy with the biggest whitetail. All right, cool story, man. Well,
Right.
you know what? I like, John. I like a pile of antlers and a full belly.
It's a crazy world out there.
It's the Wild West. But I like a full
Yeah.
belly, and I like a pile of antlers laying around the house. But I will say, to consider shooting mature deer, which is 4 and up. Is it going to hurt anybody, my feelings, if somebody shoots a 3-year-old? No, it's not. I don't care. If it made you happy, cool story. If it's your first deer, shoot a spike. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there in that same vein. Like, I mean, if it makes you happy, go for it. I've got no qualms with anybody who wants to shoot a little tiny buck or a doe or whatever. I mean, there was a time in my life, man, and this is kind of my point. Like, dude, I got worked up over every single deer, and it's like, it was I was just so excited, and I would shoot just about anything, and like, and who are who are we to tell somebody, that maybe can only hunt 2 weekends a year, or some some blue collar worker, or some, single mom that finally has a day to go out, like who are we to tell them that, hey man, you can only enjoy your hunt this way and that way. Like, no, I'm right there with you, man. If you are out there and you're having fun, and then you kill your deer or your whatever it is you're hunting, like, I think that's the most important thing. And you know i just I just don't think everyone needs to get caught up in all that, measuring contest stuff.
Yeah, me neither, man, because, the measurement of success is feeding the ones around you, not, you know, well, I have,
Yeah, not antlers.
I mean, now, granted, I've got big bucks behind me, but, I was hunting for a mature deer and they just so happened to walk out. It wasn't like I was,
Yeah.
you know, um, just searching for the one deer. I was after whatever made me happy, and those just so happened to make me happy. And am I saying that it's negative necessarily to hunt mature deer that are bigger in antler size? Not at all. Not at all. If that's what you want to do, awesome. But what I think needs to happen is all these people that are bashing other people need to cut it out. Because if it makes somebody happy, just let them be, man. Hunting's not about a swinging competition. It's about being in God's creation, man. It's not about, well, you should have let that deer walk. All right, cool story. I didn't. It's today years old.
Neato, pal.
It's crock pot 30 is the age of that deer. I mean, do you think
it is DRT, buddy.
Yeah. Do you think the natives gave a crap about the antler size? No, they were feeding it.
Not a chance.
So, if you look at it biblically, we were given dominion over the animals as food. Food, not trophies, but food. Would you classify these as a mount like tax? Oh gosh, there went the fireworks again. What just happened? Oh shoot! But
this is the dumbest show of all time,
dude. I'm telling you, we're a couple idiots. Oh man, I mean, do I think that it's?
I love it though.
Oh, I do too, man. Do I think that it's a trophy to mount it? Yeah, I do, but I still ate the deer.
No, yes, exactly. Like, I've got a little deer mounted in my living room here, and it's because it was my first buck with a bow, and it's like, it just meant something, and I feel like we're kind of getting away from that. Like I've got a 2.5-year-old 8-point on the wall, and there's probably people out there that are like, oh my goodness, why would you shoot a 2.5-year-old? It's like, that was my first buck with my dad.
Yeah.
Like, that's why.
Yeah.
So I just think that whenever we go out here, it's like what's your goal? Like what is your purpose of hunting? So I kind of want to ask you that. Like, I mean, yes, we may have some in like small segment goals, like, hey, we're gonna go out here and try and shoot a turkey, but like what's your main goal of a hunting season?
To get away from people.
Feel that, pal.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, we were social distancing before it was cool.
Yeah, no doubt, man. But man, honestly, it's more so my goal for hunting season is to reset. Be in God's creation, in the quiet, in the peace, not be caught up in the hustle and bustle of your smartphone and all of that stuff, that bogs us down. And that's why I love the Sinking Creek Ranch, man, because there's no cell service. You can't get on your phone. You can't play tiddlywinks, because there's no service. You just can't do it, Basil. You just can't do it. And, that's where I find the best clarity in my thoughts, is when I don't have cell service, when I'm not tied in deep on social media or whatever, man. It's just, it makes you really sit back and think, are we doing this right or not? Because everybody's so infatuated with the social media thing. I mean, is that what we should live for? Is a pat on the back on social media, or should we try to go out, be a light, love Jesus, and I don't know, hang out with him and his creation?
Yeah, for sure. I was talking to my wife today, like, I was telling her, I was like, my body finally calms down when I go outside, like in the woods, up in a tree, in a blind. whatever, like, because all just the hustle and bustle of life, and you got work and fixing this and fixing that, and then the dogs are running around and you're doing this, and but like when you're in God's creation, it's just you in the wilderness, and it's really
Hmm.
just peaceful and calm, and that's kind of always my goal, is like just to calm down and find peace, and you know hopefully a deer walks by, or whatever I'm after, or hopefully the fish bites, or but I definitely, especially here recently, with having some quote unquote bad deer hunts, whatever. I kind of don't even like really saying that, because I'm seeing deer, just not big bucks, but kind of it's just taking me back and making me realize what's really important, and it's just resetting, finding peace, enjoying God's creation, and you know the deer will do whatever they do. That's a wild animal. I can't control that, but I can control my attitude towards the hunt, and that's what I'm doing, and at least trying to do right now.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, I am with you 100% on that. We were talking earlier on the phone. We haven't had a whole lot of our mature bucks active lately. There hasn't been a lot of
Mm-mm.
them on the, well, they
Nope.
may be on the hoof, but they're not on the hoof in front of our cameras. Um, and I wonder, is that something to do
Yeah.
with the oaks drying up? I mean, are the acorns drying up, or has it been too much of a drought for them to dry up this year and they're still on those acorn flats? I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is, but I do know that some of my food plots look absolutely awful because we have had no rain.
Yeah, mine are. Yeah, same here. I'm in the same boat. Mine are trash, and that's kind of why I want to talk about this. It's like we can get caught up in like, man, my food plot's trash, and I'm not seeing deer and whatever, and then it's like, well, wait a minute, what am I really here for? Is it to look at a nice green lush food plot and a bunch of deer? It's like, that's nice. I like those things, but that's not why I really do it, like, so I just think it's important to just make sure you stay rooted and have a good goal for the season, and just not get all caught up in all that mess. But I'm right there with you. I've no rain is not a good thing for my food plots right now.
Yeah, same here, man. It's put a pretty big damper on the food plot situation, and you know, kind of bums me out because I need these food plots, because if it does get cold, like really cold, like they're calling for, dude, these deer are gonna struggle this
Mhm.
winter having stuff to eat if these food plots that we put out are not going to grow and be the capacity that they need to be. Um, but that goes back to God, man. He even tells the bird, the birds don't even worry where their food's coming from because he provides for everybody.
Mm-mm.
So, that just shows you, man, why are we sitting here worried about, well, they shot a bigger deer than me? That, man, I don't know, that hits home with me too. It's I mean, you were talking the other day, oh man, everybody's killing deer and I ain't killed nothing. And then the next morning I go out and I kill a deer, and
Yep. There you go.
he daylighted the morning before. I thought, you know what, the wind's gonna be right. Let's go. And we did, and it was phenomenal. Yeah, it was a great hunt, beautiful hunt. But I was persistent. I didn't give up. I didn't move 30 different spots in 2 days. I stayed in the same spot as long as the wind permitted. And that's what you have to do. If
Mm.
you have a big buck in a certain area, you have to stay in that spot, hunt that deer instead of, bouncing all over the property. You just got to be there, because if you're not there, you're not going to kill him. Plain and simple. But that brings me to my next question, Johnny boy. So, Um, even when you're not seeing deer, what is the most important thing about what you're doing? Like, what is the mission? What is the goal? What are we trying to do every time we're out there, even though we don't see anything? Are we hunting that stand because of the specific wind? Or is it because we're trying to kill a specific buck? Or what's your take on that?
Yeah, it can be hard to stay positive during all that, but it just goes back to what we've been saying. It's like you just got to keep on keeping on, and don't overdo it. Like, don't just you know keep hunting this one stand if the wind isn't right, or the this or that factor isn't lined up. I mean, if you know that a buck's in there, and you know that this stand is awesome and the wind's great, like in your situation, then cool beans. But I think it's important to not force it. Like, if you're not seeing deer, like, just don't force it. Nature's gonna happen. Just make sure you hunt smart, and eventually, over being persistent and hunting smart, you will have an opportunity at a deer. That's kind of my thoughts on it.
Well, and too, if you're not staying picky and you don't just sit there and hunt that one particular deer, that can be the issue sometimes is you're just so caught up on one particular deer that you can't see
Hmm.
the forest for the trees right in front of your face. You let 500 bucks walk and it's like, well, I had ample opportunities to kill these deer, but I never took the opportunity to do it because I was after the one deer. Me and you got caught up on that, 2 years ago, on that Big Ten here on the
Ooh,
farm. Guess what? I didn't fill a tag in
yeah.
Tennessee that year because I was caught up on that one buck. We had how many opportunities in
Mm.
Velvet to kill those deer? A bunch. How many opportunities in regular
Yeah,
season to
we
kill those deer? Bunch. We didn't do it.
yeah. So yeah, we on video, I mean, just picture perfect stuff you dream of, 5 yards, big 8 point, and it's like, and we just, both of us, I mean, not one's no better than the other, just fell victim to the whole you know thing about having to shoot the bigger, better deer. Like,
Yeah.
it really better? I mean, really? Hindsight, no. Like, we could have filled the tag, put meat on the table. As far as the TV side goes, make a good episode, like all those things.
Yeah.
Share a great memory, all that, and we let that slide because it wasn't quote unquote perfect.
Right. And it wasn't that majestic, giant 10 point. It was a beautiful, mature 8 point that was 4 yards from our blind. And we let him walk. But I mean,
Yeah,
dude, what were we
yeah.
thinking, John? I mean, we burned a whole season not even filling a tag because we were caught up on one deer. That's ridiculous. I will never do that again.
Mm,
It's like this year I went
nah.
into it with no expectations. My expectations were
Hmm.
to kill a deer. And that's it. That's literally it. Just to kill a deer and have a ball doing it with my bros. That's all I cared
Yeah.
about doing this year was just simply killing a deer. Don't really care about the score and all that stuff. I mean, I'm not going to shoot a little basket rack or nothing like that because I like to manage my deer too. But if a mature deer comes out, well, guess what? He's going to not get the pass because I am not looking for any specific deer anymore. Unless I'm hunting with somebody that's like, hey, these are the deer you need to shoot in this area. Do not shoot these. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I
It's their
mean,
place.
yeah. 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 Yeah, that's a total different ball game if it's someone else's land and yada yada yada. But
Right.
you know, just talking to the average Joe here, which is me. uh,
Yeah, me too.
like just you, man. Like, listen, if you've got your little lease or your public whatever, and it's like you only got so much to go. Like, I just wanted people to know, like, you know, keep the main thing the main thing.
Hmm.
You know, you are going out to enjoy the outdoors, immerse yourself in God's creation, and just have a good fun time, and then all the other stuff will kind of come with it over time.
Yeah, man, it does. And talking about immersing yourself in the good Lord, that's a good place to dive into your Bible also and have a quiet time or just talk to God. That is a really good time to do that is when you're in his creation, in a stand, in a box blind, a shooting house, or whatever it may be, even a
Yeah.
ground blind, there's ample time to sit down and excuse me.
I
Um,
agree.
Ample time to sit down and thumb through the Bible, work on a small series or whatever you're trying to work through. Because man, I'm telling you, every answer to everything we go through in life is all in that book. It's there. Just got to read it and find it. But it has all the answers. It has all the keys
Mhm.
to unlock every single door that we have and that we're going to walk through if it's not already just busted wide open anyway. The Bible's full of it, man. It's
Right.
full of the keys to life and the answers to all of your questions.
And it doesn't really ever talk about making sure that you shoot the biggest deer or the best, gobbling turkey. It just talks about going out there and getting meat. So I
No,
think that's the
actually,
biggest thing, is just I'm sorry. You're
no,
good.
man. Go ahead. No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, it's just important to just keep you know just keep the main thing, like I said, and just have fun with it, and don't get all caught up in all this mess, and just go have fun.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. And that's what you got to do. You just got to get out there, have a good time, and enjoy God's creation.
But hey, I've got a question. So, uh, you were talking earlier about that 8 point that we kind of let pass, and
Hmm.
I started off this thing with saying that hunting is hard. Um, when it isn't hard, right? Like whenever it seems perfect and you can't do anything wrong, like why do you think people just pass that deer, or like they don't shoot the turkey because it didn't gobble and strut, or they don't shoot the duck because it didn't finish perfect in the decoys? Like, what do you think gets in people's heads like that whenever it's not going right, and then whenever it's going, quote unquote wrong, or the hunting's getting hard, they would pray for a moment like they passed on?
Well, I'll tell you this right now. Anytime that I look at a duck, a deer, or a turkey, even on the filming side of things, I don't care how pretty it is. If it comes in and it's legal and it makes me happy, I'm gonna drop it. So the camera just needs to be
Yeah,
ready.
Dunzo.
Yeah, it don't have to gobble 50,000 times. It don't have to strut all the way down the road. I mean, has that happened for us before? Yeah. I mean, you had a
Mm,
heck of a hunt in Texas on those turkeys, man. That one, even after we shot both of his buddies, he was still standing there hammering, gobbling his head off.
yeah,
And, you know, that's the thing. You can't just let an opportunity pass because the bird didn't do exactly what you wanted it to. Or
yeah.
deer
No, I
didn't,
totally agree.
or that perfect deer didn't walk just right down that certain path and, give you this look, this look, this look. It's just, you just got to get out there and you just got to kill it. Even from the TV
Yeah,
show world. the land of filming. That is our motto. I mean, just have the camera ready. I mean, because it don't matter
Yeah, be ready
what
to roll,
happens.
bro.
That rig is going to get shot. The lead, the steel, the bismuth, the whatever is tungsten is going to fly, and we're going to kill it.
No, I'm right there with you. I mean, and that we can talk for hours about filming a TV show, and one day we will.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I mean, just and it being in the industry, and especially the TV show side. I mean, we have seen a lot of people pass a lot of things because it wasn't perfect, TV. And it's like, dude, I'm not passing up this nice deer, this nice whatever, because it didn't wasn't perfect. Like, heck no. We're shooting that thing and we'll make an episode out of it one way or another.
yeah. Like I said, have the camera ready because if a duck comes screaming in the decoys, it's going to get shot at. I'm not going to be like, well, that
Yep.
one's just a little too fast for me. Or, man, it's that mallard sitting on the water. I don't care. I'm going to kill it. I'm there to collect
Yeah,
food, not
pow.
to. I'm there to collect food. Now, do we film it? Yeah. Do we do the podcast? Yeah. But that is not why we are hunting. We're hunting to collect food, period. That's what the issue is people are not hunting for food anymore. They're hunting for sport and for self-promotion. Now, do we promote ourselves? Yes, we do. But we take these games. Now, I'm not saying that about everybody either. I'm not saying that everybody's going out and just self promoting and all that, even the folks with TV shows. I'm just saying it seems like the way things are going in our culture these days, it's more about the quick pick on Instagram or whatever social media is coolest at the time,
Right.
instead of, man, you know what? I get to have duck poppers tonight, or I get to have deer, whatever, turkey nuggets,
Mm-hmm.
turkey nuggets, or whatever it may be. That we don't, that's what me and you are. I mean, dude, me and you are like, man, could you imagine a fresh backstrap right now? That's how we are communicating constantly, is talking about the food that comes from these
Yep.
animals. And that is the most exciting
Oh man.
thing because we know where our food comes from. We
Yeah.
know that it's not been overly processed. It's not been anything. It's just purely made from the good Lord himself.
Well, I'll tell you this: if you're in the turkey woods and someone gives you crap for shooting a jake or a bearded hen, or not a totally mature gobbler, don't share your turkey nuggets with them at camp, because if they don't like how it's got a smaller beard, then they don't get to enjoy the food either.
Yeah, and sometimes those some turkeys will get beard rot, man, and their beard will actually fall off and they'll look like a jake. So if they're
Oh
not
yeah.
strutting, the only way you can tell if they're not a jake is by looking at their spurs. If you're in tall grass, how you do that? You just got to take a chance at that point.
Yeah.
But if you get him into 5 yards, you better be willing to pull that trigger.
Look here, I will tell you this: as far as the turkey world goes, if that Jake wants to come up on me like he's somebody, I'll shoot him like he's somebody. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, man. That's how we roll. Put him down.
I mean, because look
Put him.
here, if he comes in and he gets my heart pumping, boom, he down.
Just like poor little Richie getting his first turkey this year.
uh, man, poor little Richie. I can't wait for him to hear that. He's gonna be so excited that 2 people called him poor little Richie.
Poor little Richie, man. He got him a turkey this turkey season. Now he's hooked for life, and that's more so
That's
what
it,
it's
man.
about, man. Is taking people, and if we could just focus on doing that,
Oh my
taking
goodness.
people and sharing the love of the outdoors that you and I have and others have, And more
Yeah, man.
importantly than anything else,
Well, you tired this episode.
buddy, I am, man. I've been up since five or six this morning, driving all over the country.
Oh, good.
I tell you, having a baby, she'll keep you up at night. A little 6-month-old and
Oh,
a
yeah.
2.5-year-old. You're about to find that out, buddy. You just wait.
Oh, good.
It's on its way for you. You're gonna call me and say, "Boy, you weren't lying about that," because I'm not.
Yeah,
It'll
pal.
make you tired, but the main point of all of this is God's creation. Period. That's the whole point of
Mm-hmm.
every bit of it, and being with God and seeing all of it unfold the way He designed it to unfold every single morning. You know, when you look at that in depth and you see how it all works, how intricate it is such a beautiful thing. And if you can tell me there's no God after sitting in the woods and listening and watching all the different bird species and all the different squirrels and all the critters, man, just all the critters coming to life, the wind. You know, you can't feel the wind. I mean, you can feel it, but you can't see it. You know, you can't see it at all, which is a good reminder of being able to know God, feel God, but we can't see Him yet. That's the whole point. So that's why I
And
hunt.
then sharing that.
Yeah, sharing that with others. But that is why I'm in the woods, man. That is it for me. What about you?
Yeah, I'm same kind of breath. Just being in God's creation. For me, just being grateful that I can do what I'm doing. Because I've been on hunts where I'm taking wheelchair bound people, or sick kids who can barely pull a trigger, and it's like, here I am complaining that my food plot's not getting enough rain, and this person can't even walk out to the freaking stand. Like, what am I griping about? So just
Mm-hmm.
kind of keeping perspective. Perspective's huge. So to me, it's just being in God's creation, enjoying it, sharing it, and just loving every minute of it. And then when the opportunity comes, put food on the table and rock on from there.
Heck yeah, bro. Well, folks, this is going to wrap up this episode. Thank you so much for listening, and make sure to like and subscribe everything that's Rooted Television, Rooted Podcast. We're on YouTube. We are on Carbon TV. We're a little bit everywhere. So please like and subscribe everything we're doing. But folks, the redneck is out.
See y'all. Stay positive out there.